Are you past the point of weary? Is your burden weighing heavy? Is it all too much to carry? Let me tell you about my Jesus.
I have to talk about my Jesus.
'Cause shame's done all it's stealing, and you're desperate for some healing. Let me tell you about my Jesus.
These songs have been written over the past 3 years of my life, and some of these were freshly written out of losing Jacob. And so a lot of those songs on this record have just been, we've just been keeping them for a long time now.
Let me tell you about my Jesus.
What's the backstory of the song? What happened?
My brother passed away in a car accident at the age of 23. His name was Jacob. And whenever Jacob passed away, it was a really hard season in my life, and continues to be so now. But I remember journaling after he passed away for the first time ever. And I would write down the day's date and write down at the end of the day that God got me through another day of tragedy. And then years later, as God just did a miracle in my life and I started to write songs, I actually looked back into my journals and I realized that I had never written anything other than my Jesus, referring to God. And I remember asking God, why is it that I've only ever written my Jesus? And he said to me, it's because, Anne, I am yours and you are mine, and we have a personal relationship with each other. And I just remember the sweetness of him saying that to me, and I just, it was such a special moment for me. And so I had to write the next few days, and I took that title idea into the write, and we wrote My Jesus. And so it's a song that really captures the heart of just a personal relationship with the Lord that for me came out of a really bad tragedy.
Strong in his graces, and the good news is I know that he can do for you what he's done for me. Let me tell you about my Jesus.
When did Anne recognize she had a voice?
It wasn't until my brother's funeral.
As I walked up on stage and I sat at the piano, the Lord took every bit of nervousness away from me. I heard him say to me so clearly that I was called to worship him. And he was saying to me, I'm calling you to worship me, to praise my name, and to glorify me.
When my brother passed away, God kind of brought my voice out in front of people. And really at the funeral was the first time that I sang in front of anyone. And then through that funeral, God called me to music. And so that was, I didn't even really, even at that time, I didn't think that I would be doing this as a career or anything like that. So God has really done a miracle within my life.
What did that feel like? Did you feel a shift as you were singing it? What happened?
It was a really powerful moment. I felt just the presence of God. I felt, it was very, very profound. And I remember sitting down at the piano about to press my first chord, and I heard the Lord say to me, Anne, this is what I'm calling you to do. I'm calling you to praise and worship my name. And it was a weird feeling in the midst of 1,200 people at the funeral, looking out into the crowd, looking at my brother's casket, realizing he's gone, but also God calling me to what he created me for in that moment at the funeral. And so it was definitely a mix of emotions in the middle of it, but it was so incredible how God did that for my heart and comfort. And it was almost like I knew that I'm going to get through it. I'm going to get through the tragedy because God's not done with me yet. God is going to use me in big ways for the kingdom. And that's exactly what he's done. And so it's just very encouraging for me to look back on now and see what he's done in my life.
Let my Jesus change your life. Hallelujah.
What do you think he would be saying, if he could be watching you blossom as you are and what's happening with your music and how much he still inspires you?
I think he would be very proud of our family really just launching into what God called us to do. Jacob was very supportive of everything we did. And so anything that we set our mind to, me and my sister, he would just support us until, up until he passed away. And so I really think I think he would be proud. I think he'd be excited. I know he's able to see this. I just believe it. I know he's with Jesus in heaven. And I know that I think he's really thankful that out of this tragedy that God just birthed something really beautiful.